Hello students, today we will do Biodiversity and Conservation Part 2. As you know, these are notes prepared by me, Dr. Ramji. This is the video 2, so let's get started. First of all, we should know pattern of biodiversity. Now it includes number 1, latitudinal gradient. The plants and animals are not distributed evenly worldwide. As we know, plants and animals, they are not distributed evenly worldwide. Now, in general, species diversity decreases as we move from equator towards the pole. So, as we move away from the equator towards the pole, the species diversity decreases. This is very important sentence. Now, according to this, question asks us, why does the species diversity decreases as we move from equator towards the pole? There are two reasons. Number one, equator region have less seasonal or more constant environment, which promotes more species diversity. And number two, tropics have more solar energy, which contribute to more diversity and more productivity. So equator region, it has less seasonal and more constant environment, so there is more species diversity in the areas which are closer towards the equator as compared to areas which are towards the pole. Second, tropics, they have means the areas which are closer towards the equator, tropics, they have more solar energy, which contribute to more diversity and more productivity. So you should remember these two reasons why species diversity decreases as we move away from equator towards the pole. Okay. So in short, biodiversity decreases as we move away from the equator. For example, Colombia, which is situated near the equator, it has more biodiversity than New York, which is situated away from the equator. So Colombia, because it is situated near to the equator, has more species diversity as compared to New York, which is situated away from the equator. This is the example given in the NCERT. Similarly, tropics, they have greater biodiversity than temperate regions. First of all, we know that the areas closer towards the equator, they have more biodiversity as compared to areas away from the equator. Similarly, tropics, they have greater biodiversity than the temperate regions. Reasons for these are speciation. Speciation means formation of new species is a function of time. Temperate regions were subjected to frequent glaciation in the past, while tropical remain undisturbed, and hence they had longer time to evolve more species. So tropical area, they remain undisturbed, while temperate area, they were disturbed due to frequent glaciation. So the tropical areas, they have more biodiversity as compared to temperate areas. First reason is this. Second reason is tropical environment is less seasonal and relatively more constant. Again, the same reason, that the tropical environment, it is less seasonal and more constant. So if the environment would be less seasonal and more constant, speciation means formation of new species would be favored. Third, there is more solar energy available in the tropical region, which contribute to the more species diversity. So here 3 points are there why tropics have greater biodiversity than temperate region. It is because number one, speciation is a function of time. Temperate regions were subjected to frequent glaciation, while tropic remain undisturbed. Hence, the formation of new species in tropical area would be more compared to temperate areas. Second, tropical environment is more constant. That's why there is more speciation in this environment. Third, there is more solar energy available in tropical area. So from here we get 2 points which we should remember. Tropical region has more diversity than temperate, and biodiversity decreases as we move towards equator. So why tropical region has more diversity than temperate? Here are the 2 reasons which we have discussed. And second, biodiversity decreases as we move towards equator. This also we have discussed earlier. So question time now. List 3 reasons that account for greater biological diversity in tropics. So from here, any 3 reasons you can give why there is greater biodiversity in tropics. Second is biodiversity decreases as we move from equator towards pole. Justify. Because biodiversity decreases as we move from equator towards pole, because equator, it has more constant environment, as we have written here. Equator, it has less seasonal or more constant environment, and tropics, they have more solar energy. So I hope these 2 points are clear, that tropical region have more diversity than temperate, and biodiversity decreases as we move towards equator. Now, species area relationship. Now, there was a naturalist named Alexander von Humboldt. German naturalist observed in South America jungle that within a region species richness is increased with increased explored area, but only up to a certain limit. The relationship between species richness and area for wide variety of taxa turns out to be rectangular hyperbola. So what Alexander von Humboldt did, he visited South American jungles and he found out that species area is increased with increase in explored surface area, but only up to the certain limit. And when he drew a graph between species richness and area, it turned out to be rectangular hyperbola. And on a log scale, it turned out to be a straight line. So you have to remember that the graph, it turns out to be rectangular hyperbola, and on a log scale, it turns out to be a straight line. So here S is species richness, A is area, Z is equal to slope of line, and C is equal to y-intercept. So you have to remember. Now, value of Z lies in the range of 0.1 to 0.2 regardless of taxonomic group or regions. For very large areas such as entire continent, the slope of line is much steeper, with Z value lying from 0.6 to 1.2. So Z value, it will lie in the range from 0.1 and 0.2 regardless of taxonomic group. But for very large areas such as entire continent, the Z value would be 0.6 to 1.2. For example, frugivorous birds. Frugivorous means fruit-eating birds and animals in tropical forests of different continents. The slope of is found to be 1.15 because it is a large area, whole tropical forest, so it would be 1.15. Or Z value, it would be 0.1 to 0.2 regardless of taxonomic group, but for large area the value would be 0.6 to 1.2. So I hope you have understood. Alexander von Humboldt, he gave the graph between species richness and area, which turned out to be a rectangular hyperbola, and on a log scale it turned out to be a straight line. So now for the question time. Question time is, the above graph shows species area relationship. Write the equation of the curve A and explain. So here is curve A and here is curve B. It is asking to write the equation of curve A. So curve A equation is S is equal to CAZ. This is curve A. It can also be asked, write the equation for curve B. Curve B equation would be log S is equal to log C plus Z log A. Similarly, next question is, what is the general range of value of slope of line of regression for any taxa in a region? You know the general range is 0.1 to 0.2. So here we have learned that Z lies in the range of 0.1 to 0.2 regardless of taxonomic group. Yes, for very large area, the value is 0.6 to 1.2. So guys, if you have learned something and if you like my channel, so please subscribe now to my channel. The next video would be continued tomorrow. In the next video, we'll talk about more about biodiversity, and it would be video 3. So if you like my channel, please subscribe now to my channel. Thank you.